All right. Our next speaker, he has been an entrepreneur for 20 years, 15 in network marketing at being at the top of the 1% of income earners. I mean, that's an incredible feat in itself. She's an incredible trainer, not only for her team, but for the entire company of LifeVantage. She's a mother of three, wife of 25 years. She is a 15-year cancer survivor. How about that, folks? She's a patient advocate, a mission worker. She does a lot of work in Haiti. Her greatest passion, though, is helping others balance work and life to achieve success. So I want everyone to please welcome Elite Pro 7, Carrie Bedard. Carrie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Gabe?
Good. I'm excited to hear you because you're such an expert on the comp plan. And I know you're going to be talking about two specifically of the different ways that we get paid. So thank you so much for your time, and I'm looking forward to hear what you have to say this morning.
Well, thanks for having me. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, perfect. Everything's great.
Good. Hear me, see me, all that. Great.
Yes.
Well, first, I just want to thank everyone for getting on this morning. I know there's a million other things trying to grab our attention every day. And I think a couple of the speakers have mentioned, it's a decision and it's a choice to be on these. It's great to watch them back recorded if you can't, but really there's nothing like being on here live. So I just want to commend everyone for getting on. I've had lots of text messages and messages coming from people on my team saying, "Oh, this is amazing. I'm so glad I jumped on. I'm sitting at," like I've heard several people say, at a baseball game or whatnot watching it. So I just want to commend everyone for that, because it is a commitment and you're going to make a decision every day to touch your business or not. And like Bob was just saying, I've been in this industry like they have for a very long time. And one thing I've learned, sometimes through tears and sometimes through smiles, is what happens when you do or do not touch this business every day. And that doesn't mean that's 10 hours a day, y'all, or 5 hours a day. It could be 5 minutes. It's what you do in that time that's important, which we called IPA, or income producing activity, which is a little bit of what we're going to talk about when we get into the compensation plan. So I'm going to switch here to screen share. Hopefully, oh, there we go. Hopefully everyone can see my screen. Gabe, yes? Perfect. Great. So this is what I love about network marketing and about LifeVantage. And I love that Bob and his wife coming in from another company, as I did. I'm not going to get into my story because we don't have time, but I was with another company at the top for 9 years. I traveled and trained. That company's a much older company. They're still around. I made the decision to come to LifeVantage. It was a difficult decision. It was a decision that actually was not taken lightly. I had to go through a legal process because I was a trainer for the company. But I saw what LifeVantage had to offer in patents and science, in team effort, in the family type atmosphere that we provide. And I heard Bob allude to that as well. But the thing that really grabbed me was when my enroller, Pro9 Donna Deegan, got me on the phone with Gabe Pearson and we started talking comp plan. That's what really made the decision for me, because I wanted something, as a mom of 3 and as a cancer survivor, I wanted something that I could pass down to my kids and that would be willable. Hopefully, God willing, that will be, a long, long, long time from now. But I have to say that was something that was super important to me, that it was willable and that I could build this residual that we're going to talk about in a faster, more efficient way with this company, in a bigger way, sharing in global revenue, which was not an option with the other company. And it was a goal of mine to do that in a year. So I've been able to achieve those goals. I've earned the Jeep. I know what it takes to build this. What I find is the hard part is the individual commitment. So you can see my first slide. And again, Bob, I'm sure you're listening. I took so many notes. I can't wait to meet you guys in person. We have a lot in common, I believe, especially the baseball part. And I really, you have to have that individual commitment to a group effort. If it's just an individual commitment, it's not going to work. It's got to be an individual commitment to a group effort. That's what makes a team work, a dream work, a company work, a society work, and our civilization work. I love that quote by Vince Lombardi. And so first we're going to talk about residual income. I tell people all the time, residual, generational, override, you're going to hear a lot of those terms in our industry. They all mean the same thing. Okay, it's just a compounding penny. If you look at the screen, some of you may have heard this before. Day one, you have 1 penny. Day two, 2 pennies. And you can see how that compounds. That's how it works with our teams. You have one distributor. Then you work together. You each have your individual commitment, but then you have your commitment to your team and the people you're helping. And that compounds over time. Look what happens just with a penny on day 6. That is the idea of royalty commission, is what we call it, or residual income. Okay, so now I'm gonna get out of here so it doesn't bother me. Are we seeing a full screen? I hope we're seeing a full screen. Either way, I know you're seeing this. So this is what it looks like, our royalty commission. So our royalty commission, I want to explain, we call that mailbox money. We really call that mailbox money around my house because I've been getting a check in my mailbox once a month now. For this year is the 15th year in a row, every month for 15 years that I have been receiving what I call mailbox money, or what LifeVantage calls royalty commission. Money that you're getting every single month for building your business, for impacting others, for growing your network, for sharing these amazing products. This is why most people do get involved in network marketing. I'll be honest, some people say, oh, I want to meet friends. I want to get out of the house. I've had some friends I want shoe money. I've heard it all. But it's for this residual check, because you guys, the weekly checks that we're not going to talk about today are great. I love my checks that I get every Friday for the effort I put in, or for, to some extent, some of the things my team does, for enrollment bonuses, for bringing new team members on. But that's short-term thinking. That's money that will keep you in and keep you going and create some income as you're building your long-term royalty. So again, this is my 15th year. I've lost track of months. Somebody can multiply that, how many months that is, by 12, 15 times 12. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep going, but it's a lot. You guys know that 89% of Americans now have a side hustle. 89%, and you guys, a ton of them are Uber drivers. And the great thing is they control their own time and their own schedule, but guess what? They still have to go somewhere to get paid. And if they don't show up or they don't drive, they don't make any money. We have a much better side hustle to offer. I also love that with our side hustle, or full-time hustle for a lot of us, in this royalty commission mode, I'm sitting here with you guys today from our beach condo. We are here relocated for the whole summer. I'm talking to you in training, and I'm looking out at the Atlantic Ocean. It doesn't get any better than that, and I've got stuff going on this afternoon, but I can do it right here. All I need is my laptop, my cell phone, and the LifeVantage app. You guys, how many other businesses can you run like that and grow a massive residual mailbox paycheck? Okay, so we're gonna go dig into this a little bit. What you're looking at is your royalty commission. It's paid out depending on your rank. It starts at pro rank number 1, and it goes all the way to the top of the company, presidential master. You have to have 1,000 in group volume, pro 1, to be eligible to earn royalty commission. Let me say that again. You have to be a maintaining eligible pro 1 with 1,000 in team volume, at least 1 leg, to even earn this royalty commission. So your very first goal should be to hit pro 1, 1,000 in volume, keep pro 1 every month, 1,000 in volume, and have your vitality stack on subscription so that you can earn and start building that royalty commission. Okay, so, and you can see the higher up you go, the deeper down you get paid in your unilevel royalty commission, all the way to when you hit Pro 7, you get paid in the full depth. And we're going to talk about compression in a minute. Okay, the next slide is showing you a little bit more in depth about your royalty commission. You can see that the highest royalty is paid out on the third level, which is the 9%. I'm going to flip back to that because it's easier to see. So you can see the third level, 9%. It goes all the way across at 9%. That's the highest royalty. But thanks to LifeVantage and something that's super unique to our comp plan, we have a compressed royalty commission. Now, before I go into that, I want to say something that a lot of distributors do not understand. And if you think your team understands this, I'm going to promise you the majority doesn't. So you want to write this down. You want to remember this. This is super important. Our teams, especially if they're new to network marketing or new to our group, they don't really understand the difference between royalty and the person's initial order. How does that all fit in? So I just want to touch on that. So when you sign up a preferred customer or a distributor, you're paid Smart Start commission on their initial order. So you sign up a distributor, you're paid the very next Friday on their initial order, 40% hopefully if you're at your 200 in PV. Or if you sign up a new preferred customer, same thing, the next Friday, 40% commission. That's on their initial order. It's up to $1,000 is the max you can get paid on a single person. And it's for their volume on the initial order. After that initial order in their start month or orders, no matter what they order in that start month, the very next month, right? So we're sitting in June right now. And so you sign up a customer today, next Friday, because our business week runs Monday through Sunday, next Friday, you will get paid a Smart Start on that, okay? So June, you've been paid Smart Start. Starting in July, so if you're on this call today and you sign somebody up new or tons of people up, hopefully new, in June, in July, you start earning royalty commission on their subscription volume, okay? I'm gonna repeat that one more time. You sign someone up new, you earn Smart Start bonus money on their initial order, and then the following month, their subscription, whether they're a distributor or a customer, you get paid on that subscription volume in royalty commission, okay? So now let's look at this page. A few important things to know. LifeVantage pays up to 43% on each product person within your entire organization. You must be Pro 1. You can see that on here. You must be Pro 1 to earn commissions and to continue to get royalty commissions. Dynamic compression. If you look over to the right on this chart, I love how LifeVantage shows this in the comp plan training. This is new, and I'm glad they show this. It says, let's say that Sarah places an order. As you move up the tree, you can see how the commission dynamically pays out throughout the levels. And ideally, the computer searches 9 levels up the placement tree and tries to pay out all the way up. So this is computer generated. And this is a system, by the way, that's been used for years. We're not the only company that uses the system that searches. Now, the dynamic compression is unique to us, but the search engine, I want you to be confident with, because I've had people say, well, what if it misses someone? What if it doesn't pay me? I want you to be confident. My old company that's been around 39 years uses the same search engine. This is reliable. It will pay you. Don't worry. Let it do the work for you. You go out and work your business. Take advantage. Make sure you're qualified to earn. So if you look at Sarah places an order, you see where Sarah places an order. The computer goes and searches up for people who are qualified. So if you look at Yuko, if you go 3 up, first you look at Nico. He receives his first level payout at Pro 2 because he's a qualified Pro 1. Then you look at Jeff. He's a Pro 1. he gets his payout of 5% because he's the next level up. And then you look at Yuko, who could have, because he or she is a Pro 1, could have gotten residual, but they weren't paid at their Pro 2 rank, so they didn't qualify for the payout, okay? So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. But it's super important to understand it. I'm going to give you a few other things and we'll move on to generational. Your royalty commission is paid monthly. That is called your primary check, okay? It's called your primary check. It's paid on the 15th of the month, again, like we talked about, for the previous month's subscription volume. There's a couple things you need to know about that. You can go into your back Evo office and you can click on your commissions under your downline on commissions, and you can look at checks either by primary or by secondary. If you click on your primary check, you can actually open up the check and it shows you a very similar payout to what you're seeing to the right of this slide, where you can actually see who you were paid on, the percent that you were paid on, and you can see a little queue by the people who weren't qualified to earn. So you can see this in your tree, in your terms, in your primary check. If you click on it that month, you can open it up and see. This is super important because if you're really analytical or numbers driven, or you're moving up really fast in the company and you're trying to understand all this, it's great to look at this slide, but it's better to look at it as if it's your team and really see how it pays out. The other thing is, I get asked all the time, and I know Gabe and I both, when we train on comp plan, people say, well, how do we know about how much our royalty commission is going to be? How do we guesstimate that? Well, I can tell you guys, if you go to your Evo office, on the right side of your main page, there's a tab that says monthly subscription volume. And if you click on that today, it's going to show you your subscription volume from the currently today, which we don't have any because our first subscription is on the 5th, but it's going to show you the previous 3 months of subscription volume. So you can track, like Bob was saying, we want to do 20% more this month, okay? So you can see by clicking on that, your subscription volume from the previous 3 months. So it's great that Bob and them are tracking it because they're tracking a lot of other things like I do. But if you're new or you're just moving up, a great way to track that is to click on that. If you take your subscription volume and multiply it by 5%, that's about where your royalty commission check is going to be. Some will be a little less, some will be a little more, depending on where your rank is, but the average is going to be right around 5% of that volume. I've actually had people tell me, and I've had it happen to me, that it's been within $100 of that number. So you guys, that's an easy way to give yourself an idea, but also to see where those numbers are tracking. Okay, so before we move on to generational, which I promise will be quick because I know we have other presenters, I want to give you some examples that you can maybe relate to. Okay, so royalty example. If you're a distributor, so you haven't rank advanced, you're a distributor, and you have $100 in PV, you have $800 in group volume, which would be a total of $900. You do not qualify for royalty because you need 1,000 in volume to be qualified as a Pro 1, right? So you have the PV and you're pretty close to the qualifying volume, but you're not a Pro 1 yet. You're not 1,000, so you would not qualify. Another example, a Pro 3 has 200 in PV. They have 5,200 in GV or qualifying volume. And so guess what? Yes, you would qualify. And if you look at the chart, you would qualify through your 4th level of royalty commission. So I just want to give you guys a couple examples. I could give you lots and lots more. So if you want more examples, you can shoot us a note. We can give them to you, but hopefully this has helped you to understand. So the next thing that we're going to go into is generational matching bonus. And I tell people all the time, I love this bonus. It's probably my favorite part, aside from the residual of this, because in our company, and you've heard it over and over on this broadcast, one of the things I love is we all work together. We work together as teams. We don't say this is my meeting or his meeting, or I'm working with my team today, I can't help you. We all work together, but matching bonus is where you get paid from working with your team and teaching your team, like we're doing today, how to maximize your royalty commission. If you help your team members, your personally enrolled team, to then teach their team to duplicate how to maximize that royalty commission, get that 9%, get to the highest levels you can pay in the deepest depth, is that you're going to get paid here for that. And I used to hear one of our sales officers that we had say, this is your management bonus. This is you going out as a management trainer, training your team. This is what pays you back, really, really pays you back in a personal way. Okay, and how it works, first of all, you have to be a Pro 3. So you have to be a Pro 3 and then a maintaining Pro 3, which we call our foundational rank in LifeVantage, to earn this bonus. So if you look above the generational matching bonus, you look back at our royalty plan, what does that mean? Pro 3, you have to be doing 5,000 in organizational qualifying volume every single month. So if you hit Pro 3 and then the next month you are not a paid Pro 3, you will get your matching bonus for this month, but next month you will not, okay? Your pin rank is a Pro 3 forever. We recognize that hard work. Incredible that you got there, but you guys, to continue to earn, you've got to maintain these, and you want to, otherwise you're not growing and your paycheck is not there. So to earn a generational matching bonus, you have to be a paid Pro 3. The next thing to earn it is you have to have signed up personally $100 in new volume in the month. Now, if you've been around a while, this has changed a little bit. It's so much better now. It used to be you had to sign up at least one new person with $100. That's not the case anymore. Now it's 100 in new cumulative volume. So you could have 4 people that you signed up this month that got on NRF2, and that's 120 in volume. It's any combination of new preferred customers, new distributors, or retail customers from your website that you personally enrolled $100 to earn this bonus, new every month. So if you're a Pro 3, you should be doing more than that, but you should at least, if you're a Pro 3, be signing up $100 in new personal volume every month. The next thing is you have to have $200 in PV to earn this in full. If you have between 100 and 199 in PV, you only get 50% of that. And that's really leaving money on the table and giving money back to LifeVantage, which I love LifeVantage, but let's keep what is really ours and let's earn that full amount. And you should be teaching 200 in PV and holding that anyway. You guys, that's Vitality Stack for you and someone else in your house or other products. So again, Pro 3, 100 in new volume that you enrolled in the month, and 200 in personal ordering volume or PV with you and your customers in the month to earn this matching bonus, okay? So how does it work? It's you enrolled your best friend, and you have worked hard with your best friend to teach her to earn her royalty commission, to get to Pro 3, to make that highest royalty, to place on the 3rd level, to get that 9%, whatever you're teaching. And so that friend of yours now earns a royalty commission. You, as their enroller, they are your generation 1, you earn 10% on your best friend's royalty check. And I get people ask me all the time, oh, they take that out of yours. No, no, no. You still earn your royalty check. They earn their royalty check, and LifeVantage gives you another income stream where they match their royalty to you at 10%, but it gets better. Then your best friend signs up her dad. Her dad does the same thing. You and your friend work with her dad. She's now earning, or he's now earning a royalty check. He's a Pro 3 now, or he's a Pro 1 now, whatever it is. You're earning 5% on her dad. She's earning 10. You guys, this is incredible. I really hope you're getting this. It goes 5 generations deep. And if you were at a live meeting with me, a lot of you have seen me do this. If you were at a live meeting with me, you would see where I get people to stand up in my organization and I show them visually. I signed up Betty. Betty signed up Joan. Joan signed up Rick. And I show them by people and by check how important it is. This is something else I hope you're going to glean from seeing this screen, you guys, is that never stop enrolling. One of the biggest mistakes that elite distributors, or what I'll call top income earners in network marketing, one of the biggest mistakes they make, and really, you guys, be careful of this downfall because we see it starting as early as Pro 4. Shame, shame, shame. You guys never stop enrolling. This generational matching bonus basically incentivizes you to never stop enrolling because like Bob and his wife, I've lost track, but it's, well over 60 new distributors over the time I've been in. And this is based on that, right? Because let's just say I've signed up 60 personally enrolled distributors. And you guys, I'm still enrolling. I enrolled 2 new distributors last month, and I've been in the business for over 5 years, like Vantage. So every single time that you enroll a new distributor, again, that is that 10% match, right? You can't initiate those matching bonuses on those 5 generations if you don't enroll. So continue to enroll. That is how you maximize the matching bonus. But more importantly, you're teaching others how to maximize it, okay? So hopefully you understand that. I know it's Chelsea's turn, so I'm going to give a couple examples of this, and then we're going to close up. So generational matching, you're a Pro 3. You have 2,800 in volume this month. Remember, you're a Pro 3, so you hit Pro 3 with 5,000, but this month you have 2,800 in organizational or qualifying volume. You have your 200 in PV. You've got that down. You've got that on subscription every month. You've signed up a new $100 PC yourself this month. Good job. But guess what? You don't qualify for your matching bonus, and you don't understand why. It's because you're not a paid Pro 3 this month. You haven't done your 5,000 in qualifying volume. Okay, next example. You're a Pro 3. You've done 5,000 in qualifying organizational volume. That is Pro 3 qualifying rank volume. You have $180 in PV. 40 of that is a new PC that you've enrolled. That's great. But guess what? You don't qualify for that generational matching bonus because you need 200, right? You need 200 in PV to get the full bonus, but you do get 50% of it, but you don't get the full bonus. You gave 50% of that back to the company because you didn't have 200 in PV. You only had 180. Finally, last example. You're a Pro 4. You have 10,000 in volume. That is Pro 4 volume. You've kept on it. Good job. You have that qualifying volume. You have a $200 subscription. You and your spouse are both on subscription. Then you got a new PC on the Vitality Stack this month. Check, 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 check. You earn your generational matching bonus in full. So I hope some of these examples have helped you guys. I hope this training has been valuable to you. But most importantly, you guys, I hope that you are going to duplicate it and share it. Because again, in closing, we're an individual community, an individual commitment with individual goals to a group effort. That's what makes a team work, a company like LifeVantage work, a society work, a civilization work. Love others, help others, bless God with what you're doing. I love you all. Have an awesome, awesome day.
Oh my goodness. Carrie, that was incredible. I'm telling you, I just hope if you're brand spanking new to this business, I know in your mind, if you're brand new, Carrie could have been talking on a level of just simple words that you just are not familiar with. Don't let it shut you down on the compensation, because once you start really reviewing it, or listen to this recording over and over and over and over, then it's going to roll right off your tongue. And I'm so glad that Carrie mentioned this, how I learned how to maximize this compensation plan. I did exactly what Carrie was teaching you for all of you to do, is to go to your back office, go to commissions, and see where that check came from. And that, by process of elimination, that's how I figured out how the compensation plan worked. Okay, so just take some time doing that. I wrote down some great notes. Oh, Carrie, can you turn your screen off? Because Chelsea's gonna be using it.
Absolutely.
I love the fact what Carrie said. This is a willable business, so you can pass it down to your kids. Don't forget the compounding penny. If Carrie would have rolled it all the way out to 30 days, from that penny compounding for 30 days, I can't remember how many millions it is, but it would blow your ever-loving mind. So exponential growth is big. Mailbox money. Folks, I tell you what, you really have to understand that term and understand the enormity of what she was saying for the last 15 years. She has been able to take those 3 children of hers and keep her own eyes on her own kids, because this is a home-based business, and the success that her children are having now is a direct reflection of this business, because she was able to be home with them. 89% of Americans, 89, almost 9 out of 10 have a side hustle. But unfortunately for most of them, they have to leave the household. They can't keep their eyes on their own children. That's not with this particular company. How important is it to be paid at your rank? So she was helping you to understand, if you don't have 1,000 in volume and you don't have a $200 subscription, you're not being paid on the royalty commission. So every single month, like Bob and April was doing to help their team rank advance, was really, looking at their back office to see where their team is. That's what you need to be doing. So you always want to be able to, at the very least, be paid as your rank. So make sure all the qualifications are there. And this compensation plan on what Carrie just covered with you will help you with that. Very, very important. I was an individual who didn't understand the generational match. When Carrie was talking about having a $100 order to be qualified to be paid on the generational match, I wasn't paying attention close enough, and I went out and enrolled 3 people on a bottle of Protandim at 40, 40, 40. So that's 120. So that means I'm qualified, right, to be paid on the generational match. No, you have to have one order of $100. I got so mad because I didn't understand that. I let 2 or 3 months go by with not being paid what I earned, okay? So make sure you teach that to your teams. And also, folks, this business in a nutshell is a $200 subscription business. If you don't have a $200 subscription business, and that means you don't have to spend $200 yourself. You have to have a minimum of 40, but you go out and have 160 at the very least. And by the way, we don't work in minimums, but you have a $200 subscription. You are now being paid 100% of all the different ways we get paid. If you don't have 200, you're not being paid all different ways and you're not making 100% of it. So make sure you understand that. It's very important.